Welcome to today's video. Today's video, I'm going to be explaining to you how you can buy a cheaper Model 3 Tesla. This applies pretty much to anyone in the whole wide world. I've seen it happen in America, more in America actually than anywhere else, and also happen here in the UK. I'm going to be going into exactly what happens here in the UK because other American YouTubers have told exactly what happens in the American market. But in the UK, there are certain people trying to rip you off on Tesla Model 3s. And there is a certain way that you should be buying them and not buying them to make sure that you don't get ripped off and end up with a car that you're going to lose an absolute fortune on. Now, if you don't know who I am, I make videos every single week about electric cars. If you're interested in learning more about electric cars, electric transport, battery technology, battery powered devices, then please go down below, click the subscribe button, and you'll be notified every time I make a new video if you click that notification bell next to the subscribe button. Now, my subscribers already know I'm obviously in the motor trade. As you can see, I'm in a showroom right now. I've got EVs that I specialise in, and I've also got normal combustion cars as well. But I mainly specialise in electric vehicles. So I've got the i3 here for sale, I've got Renault Zoe over there, and I've got a load of Zoes coming in this week. So I am uniquely qualified to discuss this subject about buying a Tesla Model 3 and what mistakes you don't need to make that other people are making when buying one. Now, I've been in the motor trade pretty much all my life. I mean, I've just turned 33 this week. So I've been in the motor trade for about 15 years, and my father has been in the motor trade for about 45, 50 years. So the combined family experience is huge. And on that, I am drawing on this knowledge to tell you the mistakes that some people will be making because certain car dealers are trying to rip you off and certain private individuals are trying to rip you off who don't know what they're doing, and I don't want you guys to make those mistakes. Now, I initially did the research of this video in December, and I'm going to explain why that's important in a minute. And I'm now recording this video in January, so some of the facts are slightly different, and I expect them to kind of always be the same as what I'm about to explain to you in this video. Now, if you head over to Autotrader, which is a used car website here in the UK, and you also have used car websites obviously in the US where the same issues also occur, there are people selling used Model 3s for a price. Now, I expect a used Model 3 to be considerably less than Tesla are selling it for, and there is a couple of reasons which we'll get into at the end of the video and also through the video, but it's a used car. Essentially, it should be less. Now, occasionally, what we have here in most markets, UK, and it's happening with other cars as well as Tesla, including the Kia and the Hyundai Kona, there's a shortage of supply and demand is higher, and therefore certain people are able to market a used car for considerably more than they paid for it new. Now, that is true with certain cars because there's not enough supply. This does not apply to Model 3s. Tesla have plenty of supply, loads of it. If you want a Tesla Model 3, you can have one. There is no issue with supply. Tesla are willing to churn loads of these out, so don't be under the impression that there is more demand than supply. There is plenty of supply, and there is also plenty of demand, which is why Tesla's share price is through the roof as I record this. And I'm very bitter about that because I sold a little bit too early. But you know, you win some, you lose some, and I still made a profit, so I'm happy. But yes, there is plenty of supply if you want a Tesla. Now, if we go website, you can see here that there is a used Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus for sale for £41,900. And the only extra this car has is it's black. No autopilot, no white interior. It's got the standard autopilot that comes free with all Tesla Model 3s, and it's black. Now, black is not the free colour anymore. It's now white's the free colour. It used to be black. Probably was black when the time this person ordered the car, but yes, now it is white. Now, let's go over to Teslas.com's website. On the main part of Tesla's website, there is two options. There is custom order and existing inventory. Now, at the time of researching this video, as I said, there was loads of inventory stock, and I mean loads. There was about 25, 30 plus cars, and that was in December. And the reason there is none that I can screenshot as of today is Tesla's near the end of a quarter and they like to get rid of all those cars, and what they would have done is offered upgrades to people of free colours if they would take existing inventory stock so they can meet their shareholding profit, which is, yeah, basically they want to hit, at the end of every quarter, they want to sell as many cars as possible. If they're in the UK and they're built and they're not sold, Tesla haven't made any money out of them, so they basically all say to you, oh, you've got an order here, sir, for a white one, for a standard range plus. We have a all-wheel drive model in at the moment in the same colour you want. We'll give you the upgrade. We'll give you the upgrade for free, you know, if you're willing to take that car. And of course, you're going to go, yeah, I'll have it. Or they might say, we've got a blue one in. You've ordered white. Are you willing to have that colour? And a lot of people, you know, will say yes, and some people will say no and hold out for their choice. But there is some deals to be had at the end of Tesla quarter, and if you're lucky, you might get that call to say, would you like this free upgrade, sir? Anyway, Tesla slightly ruined my video by selling all their inventory stock for the end of the quarter, but anyway, still doesn't detract from the main message, which is if you click custom order and we select the standard range plus model, and then we go through next and we select the colour option, which is black, the same as this car, and the seats are standard black. We can see here that the total price from Tesla is £40,490, and the delivery date for that car is February. And I'm in January when I record this video, which means there is a boatload of Teslas already in the sea with some unsold stock in it that you can be assigned to when it finally arrives at port. So, why would you want to buy this Tesla on Auto Trader, which clearly says there is avoid the waiting list on the listing? It clearly says that there's a big waiting list when you can order it from Tesla Direct, brand new, for £1,410 less from Tesla, brand new. Oh, and don't forget, it's also got 3,000 miles less on the clock, because this is, the one on Auto Trader is a used car that's been used. So not only are you going to have one extra owner on the car, which means when you come to sell it, it'll be a 2-owner car, and the person buying it will be the 3rd owner. So that's not great. It's got some mileage on. The warranty's obviously less because it's been used, and it's going to have various, you know, wear to it. It's not going to be huge. It's only done 3,000 miles, but it's still got wear for what's relatively a brand new car, and for less money, you can order one from Tesla and have it in about a month, about 2 months. Now, Tesla, yes, are without a doubt always a little bit optimistic on dates, but recently they've been very, very, very spot on. And like I said, the end of December's quarter, they had 20 inventory stock that have just disappeared at the start of January, and eventually when this new boat comes, there'll probably be inventory stock again, which is, if you're watching this video in the future, which obviously you are, because I'm in the past, then you should check the inventory stock first. There might be something already in the country ready for you to have, which is, you know, brand new. It's just not your custom order, but you might find your custom order is already available. Now, that's just one example. Let's do example number 2. Let's compare a performance model with a little bit of spec on. Maybe there is a bargain to be had on Auto Trader. There is a second-hand car that maybe looks a little bit cheap, or, you know, considerably less than it should cost new. So I found the next car, which was a performance model. It had red, which is the dearest paint option from Tesla, and it had white interior, which is also an extra from Tesla. Again, it just came with standard autopilot, no extra autopilot. So that came in at $56,995 with some considerable extras, and that sounded about the right price. Now, Tesla's had a price increase on Model 3s a couple of times, and when this was probably ordered under the cheaper price, so therefore you'd expect them to be able to sell it for about the same price as Tesla are now, or a bit less, and he'd still be making a profit on what he paid for it, even though there is no waiting list. So I decided to customize this order. You know, maybe there is a bargain to be had here. So, yet again, I went onto Tesla's website. At the time of the research, there was exactly this car in stock. White interior, in red, for the price that the custom order costs, which I'm going to go into now. So, custom order, Tesla Performance is £52,000. right, click that. Paint option, £2,000 for that red multi-coat paint, which is my favourite colour, but I'm not paying £2,000 for it. So click that, next page. White interior, yep, click that. Total price from Tesla, brand new, 55,990. Now, I can pretty much tell you that if you spec red and white interior, and you're going to get it in February. If you order in January, you're going to get it. You're going to be on the next order list because that's the model that Tesla make the most of. There's the most money in it. It's the red paint. It's the most popular paint option. It's more expensive interior option, and it's the highest performance model, the biggest battery they do. That is the model they make the most of. That's the model they want to sell you the most of because it's the most profitable for them. And if you order that model, you'll get it. Pretty much, I can almost guarantee there'll be several of them that are not sold to customers on the boat. So why on earth would you pay over £1,000 more for a used one? I don't get it. I don't know if the people selling them are crazy or if there's actually people out there who buy them, because there was 10 used Teslas over the list price on Auto Trader during my research in December, and there's less. There's only about 6 for sale used. So is there people, I'll call you idiots, is there idiots out there buying them for more than you can buy them from off Tesla? There is no waiting list, so don't do it. Like I said at the start of the video, this is not isolated to just Tesla. There is people on the MG forum claiming there is people trying to make £4-5 profit out of a used MG ZS EV. They are trying to sell it for £5 more than the dealer. So do your research. If you are looking at buying a used EV, just see if you can buy the same car that's a year old, brand new, from a dealer instead of second hand for 6 months old, a couple of months old. Don't be caught out. If there's plenty of supply, don't be caught out. And if you are considering buying an EV for more than it costs new, why? If there's other options available in the stock, don't make the mistake. Now, I do consider that there will be some trends on certain EVs doing this considerably all the time. But if you're thinking of buying a car which is over 15 grand, then don't pay more than it costs new. If you're looking for an EV under sub 15, they're probably going to hold the money very well, and they have been, because there isn't a lot of supply for sub 15 grand EVs. But the dearer EVs, there's going to be plenty of supply, there's plenty of demand. Don't be caught out by paying more. If I've stopped you from making a disastrous mistake, please consider supporting me on Patreon. And if you're not already a subscriber, go and click subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up, let YouTube algorithm know that this was a good video and that you enjoyed it. And check out my other videos. Thank you very much for watching this week's video, and I'll see you again next week. Goodbye.